Pakistan beating Sri Lanka in the first of their two-test series might have actually seen a lot of credit go to Abdullah Shafiq, the young batsman who obviously batted out a lot of time on the final day. But there was another particular incident that had many people on social media buzzing. That incident, in case you're wondering, is of course the ball of the century contender from one certain Yasir Shah that dismissed Kusal Mendes. Now obviously we can understand as cricket fans where the ball of the century comparison comes from. It comes of course from Shane Warne and that infamous delivery with which he dismissed Mike Gatting. However, this particular delivery, whilst probably not still comparing to that necessarily, was also in many ways very, very good, and it was the kind of deceptive delivery that most batsmen at their peak would find absolutely tough to navigate. Now obviously we're going to go over the basics here when it comes to how exactly the delivery first went and why it is that is being compared to the ball of the century. Now as you can see, when Yasir first lands the ball, it lands well outside leg stump. So Kusal Mendes probably at that point is thinking that yeah, I'll play a straightforward defense, nothing major. The ball at most will spin and come towards the stumps, and at least he thought that he would have all bases covered. However, his straight batted shot proved to be no match because there was so much zip in the ball that it ended up spinning viciously away from him and it ended up carting into the top of the off stump. Now, obviously, this is one of the main reasons why that comparison to the ball of the century comes from to begin with. It comes from the fact that, like Shane Warne, that ball landed outside leg stump and it spun all the way back in and hit the top of off. But of course, if you followed cricket long enough, you know for a fact that there isn't going to be just one such ball of the century contender. There are of course going to be many, and that is in fact what has happened. If you look at recent history itself, you'd see that there were quite a few balls that were compared to that delivery from Shane Warne. Now obviously one of the first ones which you would remember off the top of your head was bowled by Devendra Bishu in 2015 during a test match against Australia. Now in that particular test match, he had Brad Haddon dismissed with a very similar ball. Again, lands outside leg stump, well outside leg stump, spins back in viciously, cuts off stump, and that's it. That's all she wrote as far as Haddon was concerned. But of course, that isn't the only such instance. If you remember, Matt Parkinson, the young English leg spinner, bowled a similar delivery during a county match to get rid of Adam Rossington. And this was in 2021. And in fact, that ball was seen, it went so viral that Shane Warne himself ended up discovering it and commenting on the ball and how good it was on his own Twitter page back then. So obviously, there are few better cosigns or stamps of approval that you can get than getting one from the legendary Shane Warne himself, and Parkinson was lucky enough to get that. But again, he's not the only leg spinner to have bowled a similar ball. In fact, his English counterpart Adil Rashid managed to bowl a similar one in international cricket itself. Yes. If you remember, during the 2021 India versus England series, Rashid bowled a similar ball to KL Rahul, which again, and the only difference by the way when it comes to Rashid and the balls that others bowled was the fact that Rashid was bowling to Rahul from right arm around the wicket rather than over, but he still managed to land the ball well outside leg stump. Again, Rahul played a very straight batted shot, but the ball ended up spinning and hitting the top of off. And again, the comparisons that were made were of course to Warne's ball to dismiss Gatting all the way back in 1993. But of course, I'm sure there'd be many more other such deliveries that you would remember. So what do you think? Does this particular delivery from Yasir Shah qualify to be compared to the ball of the century? Or are there other deliveries, whether it be from the ones that I mentioned here, or maybe a one which I didn't mention and you remember that was just as good? Do let us know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for joining us. Again, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, drop us a comment, let us know if this ball from Yasir Shah was your favorite, or is there any other ball that deserves that comparison to Shane Warne's ball of the century. Please don't forget to subscribe and also tap the bell icon so that you know every single time we are going live or uploading a video for you. As always, I've been Shayne. I'm grateful for you joining us, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.